Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan. Session, and it was so beautiful. And as Amma was saying, Vijay Amma was saying that when you have a Chitravati session, you are so full you don't want to eat for 2 days. So I thought, let me bring some non-perishable food you can carry home along with you to Australia, because you must be so full, so beautiful that session was. And really it makes you feel how I wish I was there in those days. And that was how I was when I was about 9 or 10 years old. And when I got to know Swami, I just felt I had come late. Swami, I came so late to you. And I joined Swami school, and I felt I was so late because you would hear of all those amazing things that happened in the 80s, 1980s. And I am coming now to Swami in the 1990s. So they would say 1980s, this was there, that was there, oh great, this was terrific, what would happen. And I just felt that I am unlucky. So I went to those guys who had come in the 1980s and went and told them that please share your experiences, you were the most lucky people. No, we're not lucky. Then the 1970s, 70s was the time. I mean, 70s I was in my previous birth. I wasn't there in the 70s. But the 70s guys were also not happy. They were talking about the 60s. And the 60s envied the 50s, and the 50s envied the Vijayammas. And when you go really back, like how Vijayamma says, she says, you are also lucky because at such a young age you have got to know Swami. Possibly not Vijayamma, but there have been people who said, when we came to Swami, we were past college, we were adults, You are also young, you are able to come to Swami, you are able to offer the prime of your youth to Bhagwan, so you're more lucky. So it's literally the grass being green on the other side. Nobody ever seems to be satisfied with what Swami has given. But still there is a catch which I will come to in the end, otherwise you may not sit for the rest of my talk. So there's some amazing thing coming up in the last 5 minutes. And for 5 minutes somewhere in between. Don't know which 5 minutes that is. So you better sit for the entire talk. So when I came first here, I was under the impression that Prasanthi Nilayam is like a heaven on earth. It is, but not in the way I was thinking. And especially I thought Swami school and college will be populated with sages and saints. Every morning it will begin with levitation. And I was wondering how I will be able to, not literally like that, but I really thought that everybody would be angels, I would be the biggest rascal out there. And I wasn't, there were many others. So when I joined the place, first of all, I had great expectations. And I had only one desire, the only desire was, wow, you get to see Swami daily. And that is what I was envying about all these students, because we would sit in the token lines, get inside, fight for the front lines. But the frontmost lines available for the devotees would still be worse than the last lines available for the students. So the best among the best places for the devotees is slightly lesser than the worst place for the student. That's how it was. And that is why I would feel jealous of these students. And we are there sitting from 1 o'clock, finish lunch, sit in the hot sun, warm ourselves on the concrete, on the sand, on different, feel the texture and the heat of different materials in the ashram. And then you get into the Kulwant hall, and then at around 4:30 or 4 o'clock, just before Swami comes, here comes a herd of white buffaloes. They come and sit right in the front. And Swami comes and speaks with them, and it's like, Swami, we came before. Those guys came in the end. And I wanted to be a student. I wanted to be in that herd of buffaloes. No wonder Swami calls student Dunna Pota, because literally like a herd of white buffaloes coming in. So that was my inspiration to join Swami school, Swami's college, that I want to be there and have darshan every day. And when I got the seat, I was waiting for Swami to come from Vrindavan to Parthi, because I thought, that's it, once Swami comes, life is done. What else do you need in life? Daily darshan, just imagine. Daily darshan. But nature of desire is such that within a few weeks, I'm no longer happy with daily darshan. No, darshan itself undergoes a transformation in its definition. Before joining Swami school, darshan is when I get to see Swami. After becoming Swami student, within a few weeks, darshan is when Swami gets to see me. If Swami sees me, I had good darshan. If Swami didn't see me, I want. Really, these are things that we would say, hey, today darshan was bad. Yeah. How can darshan be bad? But darshan means I saw Swami. Swami didn't see me, so. And that is how it is. Then you would feel if I get every day first line, it's greatest. And you go get the first lines, then you feel, no, but what are you sitting in the first line, Swami is not speaking? I felt this also. Because after 2 years in Swami's college, I would go back home. And there the devotees would flock around and they would want to know, Swami student has come, Swami student. So, any interviews, any ring, any chain? There would be those devotees who have come to Parthi once a year, twice a year. And they'll be flaunting their chains, their rings and watches and we came only twice, we got a ring and that's it. I must have got everything, no? Nothing I've got. I've got nothing to show for myself. 1 year I've sat there and I'm feeling very bad. I mean, you came once and you got it up already. I've been there for a year and nothing. Swami hasn't even spoken to me. The only word Swami had spoken to me was mental hospital. How? Swami spoke to you? Yeah. What he said? Personal. Those are possibly the first few words that Swami spoke. So what I'm trying to get at is that it is never sufficient, it is never satisfying. You always feel somebody is getting more than you if we start measuring it in worldly terms. We'll always end up with the feeling that I'm the unluckiest person as far as grace from Swami is concerned. I'm honestly confessing that there was a good period of time when I felt this. That I'm the most unfortunate soul as far as Swami's grace is concerned. Nothing changed after that, just my attitude. And that's what I want to emphasize today, that what Swami gives is just one half of it. Swami would always say that for the current to flow, the positive and negative have to meet. And when Swami says positive and negative, it's not like the positive and negative. It's just like the two poles, two ends of an electric circuit. That's all. In the north and south pole. Swami would say that God's grace is positive, human effort is the negative. Both are necessary for the current to flow. So also for us to experience Swami, what Swami gives is one half. How we receive it, how we cherish it, how we treasure it, how we value it is the other part. One day sitting in one of the front lines, I was thinking, I'm in the first line and yet I can't touch Swami. Swami is seated on a chair somewhere there, which is good 2 meters away, and my hands are only about 2.5 feet that time. So still so near yet so far. And that is when I saw this fly, buzzing and going near Swami's lotus feet. And sitting on Swami's lotus feet there, and I felt, oh, what a lucky fly. Really, just imagine. This is the craving and yearning of sages and saints meditating for thousands of years to come to your lotus feet, and that fly is royally glowing, going there and sitting on your feet. Ah, you lucky fly, you are blessed. 13 generations before you are blessed. 13 generations after you are blessed. All this I am thinking. And even as I am thinking that, the fly flies away from Swami's feet and goes and sits on a pigeon dropping. And I said, oh my God. That is what set me thinking, am I luckier or is that fly luckier? The fly that considers this and that the same versus me who possibly values the feet a little more than the fly. I wouldn't want to exchange my position with that fly. Definitely no. Though apparently it is receiving more. So it's not about receiving more or less, but how much we value, how much we yearn, how much we crave, how much we pine. Even if I hadn't got a chance to touch Swami's feet all my life, I would have still considered my life over that fly's life. Now I don't know if one or two incidents that I'm narrating, you might have heard it, read about it, but I feel like sharing that. My first, I just thought I'll speak about this beautiful relationship that Bhagwan gave an opportunity to share with him. And I feel these relationships, like the relationship between Radha and Krishna. It's not as if only Radha was lucky to share that relationship with Krishna, because centuries later Mirabai shared the same relationship with Krishna. And she found the same fulfillment. She found the same joy, she found the same moksha that Radha found. Simply by yearning the same way as Radha yearned. So also I feel these relationships, whether it's Hanuman and Rama, or whether it's Swami and the students, whether it's Krishna and the Gopikas, these are all kept as examples which we can easily emulate by just doing what they did, that's all. By yearning for God the way they yearned, we can also get it. And it's with that, with that in mind that I'm just sharing these. My relationship with Swami underwent a change. In the beginning it was like, I don't know what was the relationship, because my mother told me, now you're going to Swami school, this is your mother, okay. This is your father, okay. This is your friend, your grandfather, your grandmother. He was my everything. He was all the relationships that I knew. My mother told, that's it. So you ask him, you pray to him, anything you have, you tell him. So that is how I started in school, talking to his photograph, just telling whatever. I would speak anything that I wanted, not loudly, but within my heart, and loudly only if nobody else is in the room. So that way it was private, and like Vijay Magaru said, it's all about the faith. I know that he knows. I'm not able to listen to what he's telling, but I know for sure that he's able to listen. And as I said, a few weeks passed and nothing had happened. I had only received one mental hospital or two mental hospitals from Swami. And I was really feeling, Swami, time is getting over, so much time has passed and I've not got an opportunity with you. I want to speak with you, and this yearning was going on. And every night they would give us this sheet of paper to do Likhita Nama Japa. And usually everybody would do Om Shri Sai Ram, because they wanted to butter Swami. Very few would do Om Ganeshaya Namaha. No, Swami is a very possessive God. You can see that's why Swami would be upset during Shivaratri, Ganesh Chaturthi, Dasara, because the focus shifts away from him. Goes on to Devi, goes on to Ganesha. And it's not like he's possessive because he's jealous of the other gods. No. Because he has given people darshan as Shiva, Ganesha. I mean, that would be bad marketing strategy, right? Being possessive on one hand and then giving darshan as Ganesha, Shiva and all that. As Shirdi Baba and all that. Swami tries to tell us that in the beginning you check out, you test which name and form you like, and then stick to that name and form. Swami would say with God it's like marriage of the ancient Bharatiya times. No, one marriage per life, till you die. So Swami would say it is like that. And you are wedded to that name and form. In fact, Hanuman doesn't recognize Krishna till he gets darshan as Rama. Ah, you're Rama only. Okay, then fine, I'm yours. Till then, no, I know. I'm loyal to Rama. Even that's what I feel. If Prema Sai, whenever he comes, he'll have to give me darshan as Satya Sai. It's very tough. The way I have loved and I love Satya Sai, I can't love Prema Sai. No, suddenly you come like that. I've fallen in love with this form and everything that this form stands for, and you come with your beard and mustache and tell, no, I am that. No, give me darshan as this. I will see Swami in you and then love you. Because Swami says, water is available everywhere under the ground. But in order to get that water, you have to dig deep in one place. You dig for 200 feet in any place, you will get that water, sweet water. Instead of digging for 200 feet in one place, if you dig for 20 feet in 10 places, instead of a well of sweet water, you will get 20 ditches. Swami says that's what happens when you run behind different names and forms. Yeah, every name and form is capable of giving you the ultimate. But don't change. Monday Shiva, Tuesday Hanuman, Wednesday somebody, Thursday. Swami would say that don't do this. You keep fast for Shiva on Monday, fast for Hanuman on Tuesday. By Sunday you're gone. Because you're fasting all. Swami would never want anybody to fast. No need. Swami would say that your mind is not under control. To control the mind, you're punishing the body. Foolishness it is. We actually have our body under control, If Swami tells, get up, sit here, I've got up and I've sat there. But if Swami tells, don't think dirty thoughts, Swami, Because I don't have control on my mind. I have control on my body. And poor body, I punish it. No eating food. Stand on one foot. The body will be telling it's your mind troubling you, man. Don't punish me. So anyway, I don't know how I got here. So everybody would write, name. Everybody would write Om Shri Sai Ram mostly because you want to, as I said, you want to flatter Swami only. Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Sai Ram. I don't know, I just was yearning so much that I wrote, I love you Swami, I love you Swami. That was my Likhita Japa. I wrote it, filled up the page with that. And then at the end of that session, like assignments are coming and collecting back. I didn't want to give that, I thought they will see, and I was feeling very embarrassed because when you tell somebody I love you, you don't want anybody else to hear about it. It's only later I got to know that 1 million people have written this to Swami. But at that time I felt this was very special. But believe me, it is very special also. It is very unique. Because the way Swami responds to each one is unique, and that I feel is the significance of the Rasa Leela that Krishna did. Where there was one Krishna for each Gopika. Where the Lord is ready to become share the kind of relationship uniquely with each being. It's not like it's the same, So many people have mothered Swami also, physically or spiritually. Physically itself, 2-3 mothers have been there. From the of course, Ishwaramma, then there is Subbamma, there is Sakamma, there have been so many who have held Swami here and got him for bath. Because Swami used to run away from bath. All these leelas, I will not go into that is not my forte. But coming back to, so I felt that I can't submit this. So I just kept it, I didn't submit it. Anyway, it's not an assignment. It was simply given voluntarily and it's collected also. So I would take and write, but I would not submit it. That is when I got to know that all of that will then be offered to Swami. And I felt, oh my God, only mine are not going to be offered to Swami. And that is what it is. In fact, many buildings that Swami made, it was in the foundation these papers were added. Just to show that this building doesn't stand on concrete, it stands on the Lord's name. Even now the Vibhuti packet that you receive at the security office when you're leaving at the Gopuram gate, it's from this only. So all of this would be offered to Swami. And they used to keep targets. We'll offer 10 crores, 20 crores, 2 million, 3 billion, like these names. So I felt only my sheets are not going to be offered to Swami. So I decided that when I go for darshan, I will myself offer it to Swami. And I said, Swami, I am going to offer this to you. And this is not some letter. This is my heart. Because it is full of love. I don't think any other love letter I have written after that ever had that many love in it. Because this was just every third word was love. I love you, Swami, I love you, I love you, I love you. It was just love, 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 only that. So Swami, this is the first time I am offering my heart to someone and I am offering it to you. You better take it today only. Means it's like, you see that it happens, you get on your knees and you propose and then I'll tell you day after. No, better let me know now. It's like that, You're the love of my life and I'm going to offer this to you. You better take it from me today. Wherever I'm seated, however I am, I don't know, you must take it. That was my prayer. And in the lines, I didn't get any front line. I was somewhere in the middle of the block. We used to have different blocks. And I was sitting somewhere in the middle and I was wondering how on earth am I going to offer this to Swami. But in my mind, I am very clear that Swami, somehow you have to take it. If you don't take it today, it's no use. Today only it has to be. Darshan got over, Swami went into the interview room. And after the interview, suddenly Swami came walking out, gently walking. And he came exactly to the block where I was seated. And I said, wow, Swami, have you come for me? And I pulled out the letter, just holding it, not the letter, my heart. I pulled out my heart and I was holding it. I was hoping Swami comes. And then Swami just does this. And just like the Red Sea parted for Moses, the whole block parts. Swami just wanted to walk through. He just told like this to the first two boys. That was the practice apparently those days. where Swami would walk suddenly somewhere, he'll just tell like this and they'll make a path. And the path will go right through. So that was the technique Swami would use if somebody he wants to avoid managed to get the first line. Or somebody whom he loves didn't manage to get the first line. And that is what I felt. Because I became the first line and Swami is coming. And in a moment I felt equal to Dhruva and Prahalada. You've heard those names? They were little boys who yearned for Lord Narayana and he came down for them. After years of tapas, and I was managing it with just one day's prayer. I felt awesome. Swami, I'm coming, that's it. Superb, I was just floating, I was levitating in my mind. And as Swami came, he took my letter, not my letter, my heart, and I felt so happy. And I bent down to touch his feet. As I touched his feet, I saw a paper fall. It was not a paper. It was my heart. You know? I couldn't believe it, so I just thought myself slipped out of his hand. So I picked it up, but he had turned his back and he was walking away. And I felt so shattered. Because I knew that you can't drop it. You know, by chance it slipped out. No way at all. Just like how you came and picked it was on purpose, you have chucked it on purpose. Swami, you have thrown away my heart. Why did you do this, Swami? You shouldn't have taken it. It was better that you shouldn't have come here. If you don't want, just reject. Don't come pick my heart and then throw it whether I want. Sadness is all laughing at my misfortune. But that's what Swami did. You know, I felt, actually, at that moment, I just felt that the whole world was looking at me and telling me, nobody was actually watching me. It was all in my mind. I felt so bad. And that time I just felt, oh, maybe because I felt that I'm a great devotee, Swami is saying, no, You call with yearning, he'll come. The moment ego comes, he just goes away. He just drops whatever and goes away. Because ego repels him. Just like yearning pulls him. And I felt, oh, that was what it is. Instantly, Swami, I'm so sorry, Swami, no, Swami, I'm not a great devotee, it's just your love. But please, Swami, don't. Now you somehow once again just take it, Swami. I don't know how you'll take it now. Already it is, it is the post-darshan this is. So I don't know if there's any chance, but Swami, if today you don't take it, I'll definitely be sad. But Swami was gone, so I put it back in my pocket and I just sat. Swami went ahead and he got down from the steps of the dais and began to speak to some person there. And then he moved 2 steps back and began to wave his palm. So, this is the time, those were days when if Swami materialized vibhuti, any student or staff member who had a white handkerchief could rush up to Swami and offer it to him to wipe his hand. The excuse was you're helping Swami clean his hand. The actual reason is you get a chance and you get those vibhuti imprints on the handkerchief, you can go frame it and keep it in your altar at home. That's the actual idea, but we say that no, we are just helping, doing some little seva to the Lord. And there are, it used to be a competition actually. There was one Prashant, there was one Bhanu, there was me. We would all be like waiting to swoop. And we would like dogs, we would mark our zones. This much to this much is mine, okay, you better not step in. So he'll also mark it. And Swami will come in some triangulation point and create, All 3 of us will rush in. There have been many such funny episodes. Once, so eager it is, we would be so alert that Swami just has to do this. And up will be already there. Because, Swami would just take a step back and then materialize. So on one occasion I had rushed like that, I beat everybody because I managed to see his leg rise to go back. And even as Swami was, the vibhuti had not yet come, but I was there already for the post-vibhuti cleaning. And Swami waved his hand and I was sitting there with the handkerchief and out came a ring, once. Swami looked at me like, what? But this day, no competitors were there and Swami began to wave his hand and vibhuti came, so I rushed to Swami with the handkerchief and again the usual practice would be when Swami creates vibhuti, you sit there and you hang that just like on Swami's chair. Instead of the arm, it will be on your hand. the handkerchief. You offer it to him. He will not even look at you most of the time. He'll just pick it up because he's continuing to interact and talk with the different devotees there. And he'll wipe his hand and he'll just throw it. And you catch it, put it back in your pocket, wait for Swami to go, and you offer pieces of paper to all those who got vibhuti in case they want to store, and then you return to your place. So I gave the kerchief to Swami and Swami was wiping his hand, and now I am going down to ultra slow motion, 150 frames per second. So Swami is wiping his hand there like that, and I am looking at it like that, and he's wiping and I am looking, not realizing that as he's wiping, Swami is not looking at the devotee, he's looking at me. But I am not interested in looking, I don't even know. It often happens, right? We are so fascinated by the wonders of his hand that we miss the beauty of his face. So I am just looking at his hand and I am not looking at him and just waiting, when he'll throw. Instead of throwing the handkerchief, with his other hand, he pats me on my shoulder. And that is when I realized that he's been looking at me. Oh, I looked at him. And then Swami points to my heart. He points like that and says, give me. And I was, and then I realized that letter is there inside. So I said, okay. And I took that and gave it to him. And he took it and then threw the handkerchief and walked up. There have been thousands of moments when you feel that Swami is not looking at you, Swami doesn't seem to respond to you. But Swami has that ability where he'll respond to you in one moment. And at that moment you feel that the avatar has come for my sake. That's it. That's it. And that moment, if we can hold on to, our life is done. Because that is true. It is true that the avatar has come for my sake as much as it has come for anybody else's sake. Because in that moment, that is Swami's ability. The way he fills himself in that present moment for you, he shows you that nobody else matters for me at this moment except you. This entire drama I am doing for your sake. That was the first episode, and after that, I began to consider Swami my friend, my best friend. And interestingly, though I considered Swami as my friend, I always had best friends. This best friend concept is such a very, paradoxical concept, because when I was in first grade, I had a best friend. Then when I was in third grade, I had another best friend. Best means supreme, nobody above, the top. But it's more like a rolling trophy for us, First 3 years you're my best friend, then you get somebody else, then a third person, and it keeps varying, and same thing happened to me also. And I'm just going up and down, that was a school episode, I'll come to postgraduate, then go back to undergraduate, doesn't matter, because what I'm trying to tell is that everybody in my life whom I considered very, very close, my family, my closest friends, see again I'm telling my closest friends, all of them know that my weakness is that I get attached. And by attached, what I mean is, I have expectations. I'm an awesome friend to have when you are down and out. But when I am down and out, I am terrible. You better do everything I did for you, and a little more. That's what I mean by expectation. There have been friends, when they are sick, I go and do everything for them. And they don't even wish me on my birthday. And I used to feel very bad. I used to feel very sad. And oh my God, how many times, I would keep crying, and everybody would wonder what's wrong with it. Keep crying, meaning I would be sad. And different people used to wonder what's wrong with this guy. He's not failed any papers. In fact, he's topping some of the papers. He's got a good sports life. Plays 2-3 games well. He's got a good cultural activities life, elocutions, public speaking, quiz, debates, are doing well. One of the class leaders also. Everybody felt that this is the life to have. But I felt very miserable throughout my teenage years. Because I felt that I don't have one proper friend. Technically, yeah, I'll keep telling Swami you're my best friend. But when it comes to practice, I'm just searching, I'm just searching and it became so much that when I was in my second year undergraduate, I was one of the winning champions and was supposed to receive a trophy from Swami. And I was praying, Swami, I don't want any trophy, Swami. Just relieve me from this. Relieve me, Swami. I feel so sad. I'm not able to study, whole nights go off thinking about, and it's not like one girl or one guy or nothing like that. Anything, I would get attached to so many things. In fact, I get attached to my t-shirts. I used to have t-shirts which are like 20-year-old. Don't fit me, but just keep it. That kind of, what can I say, psycho attachment. It was crazy. And every time, whenever I have confided to my dearest ones, the solution has been, Aravind, you can't be so attached. Get rid of attachment. And I used to feel that you're not understanding my problem. I used to feel I'm like a banyan root. My nature is to attach. You don't tell me don't get attached. I'm the root, man, you're the fruit. So you don't get attached, I get attached. The fruit will never understand the root's troubles. You're not getting the root cause, I used to think, that is my trouble. So, why I'm telling this is because the way Swami came, Swami is the only being who didn't tell me, Aravind, don't get attached. That's the beautiful thing, He never told me don't get attached. And yet he gave a solution that has healed me, liberated me. Awesome, no? How I'm building up the suspense. So what happened was, I had written a letter. I said, Swami, I want some solution. And I had also done my analysis. It's not like I simply said, Swami, give me a solution. I had done the Google analysis, everything. I had given him all the data. You analyze the data and give me a solution. I had told him also, Swami, I think my problem comes usually after 8 p.m. After 8 at night. Because after 8, I'm relatively free. That's when I start talking to people. Till then the schedule is so packed. And 8 o'clock is the study hours actually. That is what we neglect. We study the most just 2 weeks before the examination. We don't, Swami used to say if you study 1 hour every day, it's enough. But rarely we would follow that. The study hours in the beginning of the semester would be used for just, gossip, talk, fun, crack jokes, imitate the teachers, and do all these things. And that's when, bonding happens for normal people. That's when attachment happens for me. So I had said, Swami, in the whole day, Swami, if you can take care that night, 8 o'clock, till night, 10 o'clock we go to bed, if you can take care of that time, that I don't get attached, rest of the day I can manage, Swami, but this much at least will help. Do something about 8 to 10 at least, These were my prayers, and I remember we came to Puttaparthi and it was around this time, January time, sports meet got over, and on Shankranti Day when there was prize distribution, we went to Swami, two of us went and we received the sheet from Swami. And that photograph, you would never have seen it on my Facebook page or anywhere because I'm not smiling and posing, I'm looking at Swami and Swami, please take this letter, solve this problem for me. Because I was not bothered about that trophy or that photo. It was bothering me so much. Like, Swami, no need of anything, just take this letter. And after giving the trophy, when I tried to give the letter, Swami said, no, go. And I felt, oh God, Swami, you don't go now, I have to go. I'm not even a Parthi student, I'm a Vrindavan student, I'll be gone. Again, now who will take care? Swami, now one more semester. One semester I've already had that problem, now without solving it, you're sending me back. This was my thought. And I'm telling this because even when Swami was physically there, it's not as if he was like an answer bank and you go to him and throw your question and you get your answers. It was never like that. Even when he was physically there, you had to yearn, you had to crave, you had to pine, you had to go through. Like just imagine even a person like Vijayamma who has played with Swami keeps saying, difficulties come in life. You also get difficulties, sir. When you're playing hide and seek with Swami and getting difficulties. Great. So nobody is exempt from it. I was really surprised when she was saying that. A lot of difficulties come, but okay. So I mean, getting Swami is no guarantee that now it's going to be a bed of roses. Nothing like that. I feel Swami is like a footwear that covers our soul. It may be thorns and pricks, but I'll protect you. That's what it is. It's not going to become a bed of roses, but our soul gets protected. And so Swami then said, didn't take my letter. So I was back and was sitting and the good friends, when I say good friends, it's been like 14 years now. We are still in touch. When we meet each other, we still talk like there's been no time that has elapsed. And yet, this was a problem that even they would not understand. They come, Aravind, what are you sad about? Man, got photo with Swami, man. Swami didn't take my letter. Mad or what? Mad or what? You get to post with Swami and Swami didn't take a letter. If Swami takes a letter, you tell you didn't get photo with Swami. You keep finding things to cry about. It's not that. I don't know how to tell him that you are the problem, man. I was sick 3 days back, you didn't come to see me also. He just shut up now. Don't come when Swami is speaking to me. And that's what happens, The day Swami speaks to you, walk in the hostel, your stock price is very high, it has gone up, It's the upper circuit. They'll come and punch you. Suddenly. Punches you feel like that. Yesterday when I was dying, you didn't know. Punches. This is what it is, and it's very real. And this is a beautiful thing about Swami, Like, Swami comes into your life and you are able to look back at those times when you shed tears and laugh about it. That's what Swami does. Because when I went back to Vrindavan, I was very morose, I was very sad, I was down, everything. And then I said, we went back in the morning, so I said, Swami, just 3 more hours, just see it begins again. Again, what's nightlife? 8 o'clock, chat, talk about. Now that the sports has got over, nothing is there to study also. Supremely high chances of more attachments coming now. This is what you are gifted. 8 o'clock bell rings. And somebody opens the door and says, Aravind, warden is called. I go to the warden, and warden says, Aravind, Swami said that he wants security boys. Okay, security boys. So for Trai Vrindavan, that is Swami's residence in Vrindavan, they need security. So 12 boys Swami has selected. Would you be ready to sleep every night in Trai Vrindavan? I said, great sir. Wonderful sir, I am very happy to do that. Then every night at 8 o'clock you have to go there. Morning you can come back at 5 o'clock. Wow. And I was thinking Swami has not answered. And then when I look back, I think, it was almost like something, no need of a letter. You take a letter, no need. I've already sorted it. I felt Swami, I said I don't want to be in this company from 8 o'clock. And you said then come to me. You called me to your home directly. For 2 years, every night I slept in Swami's residence. From 8 to 5 in the morning. Then I felt so foolish. So why did I tell Swami take care of me 8 to 10, That's why it's better not to pray only. He knows better than me what to give me. I feel so foolish asking anything. I don't ask anything from Swami nowadays. Nothing I ask. There's no need to ask. Because when I ask, it is lesser than what he wants to give actually. Just imagine, he said, I don't know what, I wanted you inside full time. But you wanted only 8 to 10 or something. So you come that much time and go. But that was one, and I felt that though Swami is not responding as a friend as I am imagining, he's there. He's there. And that began a new journey where I would keep thinking how to get closer to Swami. And though it mitigated the problem to some extent, it was only a symptomatic solution, it still didn't go to the root cause. So my troubles with this attachment continued, and then vacation time is another time. Huge attachments you can grow. Because vacation time you got full free time. When Swami says an idle mind is the devil's workshop, Not that Swami says as a proverb. I feel that is very, very applicable, especially for the teenagers. An idle mind is a devil's workshop, and that is why Swami has filled the college schedule. The kind of schedule you have now is the kind of restrictions you have now is the kind we had for years on the end. Not for 10 days, 15 days a year. And I'm grateful to Swami for that, because that is what has molded us in a way. Not that anything we did, we also grumbled, getting up at 5 o'clock. Who gets up at 5 o'clock? We would be waking up the roosters in Puttaparthi there. Those roosters were, those guys got away. Now I curse when it does its cock-a-doodle-doo, but it would curse our Supravatam possibly. Hey, these guys here, let's sleep somewhere else. Don't sleep near the hostels. They get up before us. So, it was a tough life. But there's a reason Swami kept us busy throughout. Something or the other is there in the schedule. There's nothing like a free time only. No time to study extra also. Swami would say, no need. No need. They would tell Swami, now exam time, let us exempt from jogging. Or exempt from this. No, nothing. 1.5 hours is enough. 1.5 hours per day, if you study, it's enough, Swami would say. And there have been people who have shown that. And definitely, all of us have gone through with mostly that only. A little bit extension into the night during the exams, maybe. But generally only 1.5 hours a day, that's it. That's all we could afford for studies. Because something or the other is there. And it is so important. That's why I said, when it came to the vacation, oh my God, it would be dreadful, because so much of free time. Your mind gets exposed to so many things. Unnecessary things, just like that fly, Swami would compare the mind to the fly. It sits on the Lord's lotus feet also, it goes and sits on pigeon dropping also. It goes both places, and that's what would happen, and attachments would multiply. I would expect, and then letters, phone calls, as technology grew, emails. More used to be only letter. You write a letter to somebody, you send it to your brother, your sister, or your friend, and they don't reply, and you meet next time, what, you didn't reply? Didn't reply, I replied. This postal, we would curse the postal department and it would be fine. But now it's not possible. You didn't reply to my WhatsApp. I saw the 2 blue ticks. You saw it. So scary it is. Everybody can track everybody. And technology just makes it even more tougher. Because you've got all the reasons to add manure, to add fertilizer to your attachment. So many causes for disappointment, and that was what was happening. Almost, actually the story ends somewhere near, the story should end fast. It ends somewhere near 2008. What had happened was, in 2001 or something, when I had gone to Bombay for the vacation, I walked into one of these Archie's card shops. And now there's Archie's card for everything. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Brother's Day, Sister-in-law's Day, Dog Day, Cat's Day. They're very happy to fill all the 365 days so that you keep spending on them. So I went, and at that time it was like very fancy. Wow, I never knew that there are cards for all sorts of relationships. I was very, very happy because I had all sorts. Brother, distant friend, close friend, deep friend, all everything. But then I saw one card for the best friend, and it said 101 reasons why you're my best friend. It took me 25 minutes to read that card, because it would open like that, then it would open like that, then it would open like that. And it actually written 101 reasons, proper good reasons, all there. Wow, this card I'll give to my best friend. So I bought out that card. That was the only card I bought. And as I walked out of the shop, the next question came: who? Who do I give this to? So many names, so many friends are there. So, best friend. So I decided, okay, I picked one best friend. And just before I wanted to give this to that best friend, I suddenly went, no. Will this be fine? Okay, anyway. So I went to this best friend, and his best friend looks at me and says, what's that? Nothing. Card for me. No. Naturally for me, who else? Then my ego kicks in. Oh, you think it's for you? It's not for you. And I didn't give it. That's it. No, not his best friend. Too egoistic and thinks no end. So I didn't give it. Came back to hostel. One best friend. The birthday was coming. I thought I'll give it. Then I read through those 101 reasons. This fellow didn't qualify for almost 25 of them. So I said, no need. Can't give him. So I found another card. Then another year I actually had another best friend by then. Every year or two I would change actually. It was almost like the Wimbledon. More than 2 years in a row nobody won it. So within 2 years I had another friend, I wanted to give it to him, and this fellow qualified only for 24. My standards were falling, I think. There were only 24. So what I did is, I took a piece of paper, wrote down those 24 reasons he qualified to, and gave that to him. I didn't give the card. one year. So gave that to him, and this went on like this. Years passed. 2008, 2001, now 7 years, the card became yellow. It had a nice shade of it and everything, but I have not given it to anybody. Finally, one person whom I thought is definitely my best friend, because he won the trophy 3 years in a row, which was a record. I am going to give it to him, I thought. And because the story requires it, I'll tell his name also. It was Amai. I thought I'll give this card to brother Amai, So I thought I'll give it to Amai. So in fact it came to a level where on his birthday in December 2008, I thought I'll give this card to him. So I wrote on the card, "Dear Amai," and there was no need to write anything else because there are 101 things there. And in the end I wrote, "Love Aravind." But I thought just giving the card won't be enough. So I wrote another letter there, letting him know of the history of the card. "Dear Amai, this card first I bought in 2001. I thought for such and such a person. Then this. I had written almost 7 names in that card of all the previous wannabe winners of this card who could not make it. And so congrats, you made it." And then that evening after darshan, he was pushing his bicycle. I went there and I said, "Happy birthday," and I gave him this card. He looked at it and said, "Hey, what all this formality and all? Yeah, no need." I said, No, you keep it. You keep it and read it." And he said, "Okay." So we came to the Western canteen together, had dinner. Then he walked along with me to the studio. We sat there chatting till almost 10:30. Then he said, "I have to get back to the hostel." He went back to the hostel. After he went, I was like very happy. I thought finally I gave the card to someone. And I got up to open the room door to walk out, and I saw the card there. It was on my desk. He had forgotten it. I said, "Okay, no problem." So much we were chatting with each other. So he forgot it. So the next day morning, I thought he'll definitely call me and say, "Hey Aravind, I forgot the card, yeah," something like that. I thought he'll tell me. Nothing happened. So next day morning around 10 o'clock I called him. "So how was the birthday, man?" "It's the same, yeah, the same thing." "Normal, fine, yeah, good." Any special cards or gifts?" I asked. Desperate, right? So, "No, the same standard ones. They are moms and dads and okay, yeah, I don't know what is this card and all. Simply he started talking about deforestation and recycling paper." Ultra spiritual guy, this guy. So always this fellow was like that. He is also still like that only. Very ideal. God sent him with 2 consciences and 4 atmas. I feel like that only. That's how I feel. I keep telling him that. Tell him that you can never get a date. You will never go on a date, because you go on a date, you'll see the candle and teacher, Jyoti meditation and so on. when he said on the phone that I didn't Nothing special. I said, hey, what do you mean no special? You opened my card. Hey, you gave me a card, right? Yeah. Where is it? I don't know. Yeah, I opened it. Yeah, man, nice. Yeah, nice. Thanks. Good. No, I got very sad. I just said, okay, fine. I just cut it. My student said, Swami, what is this, Swami? Such a nice person, definitely qualifies in every way to be my best friend, and he's also letting me down. Swami, what is this, Swami? It's almost like nobody understands me, and only everybody feels that I'm very popular. I've got so many people who love me. Nobody cares a damn for me, Swami, because nobody understands me. It's almost like only God can understand, only you. Oh yeah, Swami, you're my best friend, right? Yeah. That is when it, we hear it 100 times. Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. But when the meaning of love all, serve all and help ever, hurt never hits, whenever that happens, we'll realize that we don't need anything else in life. So also, like parents, we keep telling, oh, God is the best friend, God is the best friend. But trust me, I don't know, having gone through what I had gone through, you really feel so frustrated. Nothing gives satisfaction. I may be achieving other things. I may get a gold medal, I may get a first prize, I may get top in academics, I may be doing great, everything may be good, but I'm feeling so low. How does all that matter? Really, the feeling in me was like that. They'll come and tell you, you're this, you're that. My question would be, so what? I'm not happy. Because I don't even have one person whom I can call mine. This was what I was feeling. And I can't tell this to anyone also, because if I tell them, they'll think I'm bonkers. And what you're telling, man? You are the popular guy in class. You are this guy. It doesn't matter what others think, it matters what you think, right? I'm feeling alone. That's all. That's what it is, difference between loneliness and solitude. Solitude is even if physically you're by yourself, you feel so full. That's solitude. Loneliness is you're with 1,000 people around you and yet you feel you're all alone. And that's exactly what I was feeling. And that's why I say technology accentuates it. Because it makes you feel as if you're with 1 million people. But you're hopelessly alone when it matters. And I felt nobody is able to understand. And this age is an age, really a funny age. Crossing 15, 16, up to 25, 26, 27. So funny because before that, my mother was my greatest solace. Everything I would just go and tell her and she would solve it. Somehow after 15 you just feel, no, yeah, I can't tell my mother this. I can't tell, You just feel you can't. And you don't know what. It's a very, very strange phase. That's why I feel at youth stage to get God is a great gift. Because God understands every stage. So I told Swami, this is the thing. You are my best friend. Swami, I'll give this card to you, you should take it, Swami. 7 years I have not been able to give this card to anyone. And then my thought came, how you will give to Swami? You written there, Amai. So I opened the card. AMEY. The EY, I joined them and made it one big Y. And before A, I put SW. It became SWAMY. So it became Dear Swami, Love Aravind. And then there was that attached letter. I tore that letter. I wrote a fresh letter. Dear Swami, let me tell you the history of this card. Instead of 7 names, there were 8 names now. Amai had become part of history. Adding his name also, I wrote it and wrote the whole history. Then that forwarding letter, I put it in the card, and that day, I picked the perfectly wrong day to try to give a card to Swami. Because it was the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. Devotees from all around the world had come, they were going to sing, there was going to be a choir, there was going to be this, and filled, Pulvandal was filled, bursting at its seams, it had overflowed into the Purnachandra auditorium and into the side lanes, everywhere. People everywhere. And as Swami came out, there was a row of letters, everyone wants to give letters. VIPs, super VIPs, multiple VIPs, ultra level VIPs, international VIPs, all are seated there. And that day, because I had a 400mm zoom camera, I'm able to see. As Swami enters from the ladies' side in Pulvand Hall, there itself Swami says, no letter. pray in your heart, Swami said. I can make out. And Swami passes through the entire lady's side without picking even one letter. And I was like, man, this is a statistically bad day to try to give a card to Swami. But I had told Swami, Swami, you have to take it. Because till now, whomever I have tried to give it to, I have not been able to give it to. I want to give it to you. And then Swami passes through the students. No letters taken. Then Swami goes to the gent side. And I am keenly following him with the camera. Take somebody's letter at least, Break that rule that you won't take a letter today. Gent side over, no letter taken. Then comes to my last resort, the birthday boys section. Generally, Swami doesn't disappoint you on your birthday. I say generally because there are exceptional cases. So Swami comes to the birthday boys, blesses all of them, finally takes one letter. But one letter at least is taken. And then as Swami is coming close, my heart is now in my mouth again. I'm holding this card, I'm shivering, I'm trembling, the pain of the past 6-7 years is there in me, and I'm just hoping that Swami, please, because if you don't take this card to Swami, I don't know what to do after this. I don't know, Swami, I'll cry here only. After crying here, I'll go back. I don't know how much I'll cry. I don't know, people will think I'm mad. Anyway, they think that I'm mad. Leave it. Swami, you know it. You know everything, Swami. Swami, I want you, Swami. I want you, I want you, I want you. I don't want anybody else. I want you, Swami, I want you, I want you. Just keep telling it so many times. Swami comes near and I am so sure, because I'm in the third line, I'm sure he's not taking anybody's. Suddenly Swami turns towards me and tells, wedding card? Yes. So I just got up, jumped up, went, knelt before him. Said, Swami, not wedding card, friendship card. Swami just took it. I was so happy. He took it and went. So he had 2 letters with him that day. One which I had given, one which somebody else had given. And he came on the dais and he was holding both of them. And I felt so nice. I felt so happy. Thank you, Swami, you took that letter. From now, Swami, only you, Swami. I'm going to focus only on you. I'm going to expect only from you. I'm going to yearn only from you. And even as I said that, Swami opened that letter the other person had given, right? And he quickly browsed through that letter. And then he gave it to the boy sitting beside him. Then he took my card, tried to open it, but I had sealed it all around with tape, X like that, and parallel lines and all 4 sides fully. So it was something very, very, very personal. And when Swami tried, he was not able to open. I said, oh my God, why did I seal it like a coffin there? Like all the sides, wrapped it up so it can never come out. And Swami turned to the boy this side and gave it to him. I thought, yeah, if only I had not done it, Swami might have opened it. What Swami did? Swami tells the boy, open it and give it to me. And this guy pulls out his keychain, something, everything, and rips it apart and gives that card to Swami. Swami then picks up the card, just looks once at me, then opens it and starts reading. And they're singing the carol number 2 there. Carol number 2 finishes. Swami has finished possibly 18 reasons why he's my best friend. And everybody claps, so Swami just looks up. And he tells, sing the next. There, 2008 Christmas Eve, you can watch that video. Swami says next. They start the next carol, Swami goes back to 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'm sitting there, I'm feeling so happy. And again tears are coming down, It's like I had promised Swami that if you don't take, I'll cry. But that's what Swami does, Swami does this. Before you come to Swami, you'll be crying. He'll come, he'll touch you and go and you'll be crying even more. First, hot tears of pain. Next will be cooling tears, cleansing tears of joy and celebration. And then Swami opens it like this. And at around 36, I think they finish the next carol. So he again blesses and tells next. They must have cursed me. Who is that guy who gave this card? Swami not looking at anybody. Swami opened one, second fold, third. I got a photograph of Swami opening it like this. He read through each of those 101 reasons for 20-25 minutes, and I was just sitting there and crying. And that day I felt, Swami, you have come on earth for my sake only. I felt that. My God. And just look at that. So many of my so-called friends had all the time in the world. Nobody had made me feel so special. And humanly, if you look at this guy, he's got 1 lakh people waiting for him there. And he's telling me, you want me, right? I'm yours today. On this day when Christ is going to be born and there are 1 lakh people waiting for a glance from me, I'll give this time for you. That's right. At that moment I felt, Swami, if my whole life you don't talk to me, it's okay, Swami. Because I know this moment I have felt that you came down only for my sake. And that is when I realized what is the solution that Swami gave. Swami didn't tell me that your weakness is attachment. Swami was telling me, Aravind, you know what's your strength? Your strength is attachment. Get attached to me. That's it. It becomes your strength. You just see how all other attachments fall away. That's what I noticed. The moment I began to yearn and expect and love only Swami, I suddenly noticed that it doesn't matter if he comes from my sickness or not. I could not come, no problem, fine. I don't care. It's fine. I have no expectation from anybody. Doesn't mean I don't have friends. I still have a lot of friends. But nobody is in charge of my heart or happiness, because my heart is with him. Very safe. Very safe. And that is what I realized is the beauty of this divine love, divine friendship. Because though he may not respond in a way you are expecting, he'll respond in a way that will blow your mind. That will thrill you beyond your wildest imagination. And you feel, oh my God, you know, Swami, I'll just shut up. I won't ask you anything. Because you know better, Swami. I don't want to ask for something lesser. Every time that's what happened. And that is how I got rid of my attachment problems. Not by people telling me that attachment is your weakness, but by my best friend telling me that attachment is your greatest strength. You know what redeeming it is? When all your life somebody has said that you're weak because of this, somebody comes and tells, no, you're strong because of this. It felt awesome. It felt like, what is it that you're seeing in me? I'm seeing strength, that is your strength. That is what Swami has the capacity, that is what the Master has the capacity, to convert my greatest weakness into my greatest strength. And that's what happened. And that's when I realized that all of us feel thirsty. I'm feeling thirsty. And we need water to slake our thirst. Water is love. The bottle is attachment. When the water gets over, I still suck on this bottle and I tell them, I want this only. There's water coming in the other taps and other bottles. It's not as if when I was sick, nobody came to tend on me. But I didn't notice them at all. Because I wanted these guys to come and take care of me. I'm so lost in searching for cards I've ever received in my life, I've still stored them. And I've got more than 1,000 of them. Which means every birthday at least 20-30 cards I would receive. I was blind to all of that. Because I'm looking forward for cards from those people. It's almost like we forget that we are thirsting for water and we think we are hooked onto a tap. The tap goes dry and I'm still holding the tap and telling, no, I am. Do you want water or do you want the tap? Water is love, tap is attachment. And that episode is when I realized that Swami is the water that comes from every tap around. And he chooses which tap he'll come from. And actually I want only Swami. I want only water. I want only love. Let me not be so attached that I miss the love that comes. And the moment we realize that, you feel so liberated. Maybe coming from Melbourne, you don't worry that, oh God, I'm going to Puttaparthi. Puttaparthi is 15-hour flight away from Melbourne. What do I do when I'm thirsty? This tap is at my home. No water is there also. Water may be there, but this tap, I want this. Because for me, the water that comes from this tap only is what I want to consume. That's what is attachment. Then you can't leave Melbourne at all. You'll be stuck there only. But water is everywhere. And through his love, through his. You guys are not from Melbourne, is it? I mean, somebody is raising hand. Sydney. Okay, wherever. You get the message, right? I could have told Sri Lanka and you would have understood still. So, Swami is the best thing that can possibly happen to us when we are young. Because Swami is the one-stop shop for all our problems. Especially this problem, I don't know, I just feel this was true for me and I thought maybe I was an outlier, an extreme case. But when we did a radio science survey, 6,000 respondents in the age group 15 to 35 when we filtered, problem number 1, relationship. So I felt that, oh, fine then, it's not just my problem. It is quite universal. Very interesting results that survey produced. In this age group 15 to 35, you know what? Health never figures as a problem for them. Because usually we are healthy at this time. If we had possibly checked respondents from 35 to 65, so many would have told health as a problem for them. But we don't have to worry about our health because God gives us health. This is a period of time when we are at the best of our physical health, mental health, psychological health, everything. Let's offer that to the only being who truly understands us. Let's not, giving our hearts to anybody else. Swami would say your heart is a single-seater sofa. It's not a musical chair. We often make it a musical chair. Different people are found sitting on the chair when the music stops. And then finally there's nobody. Swami says, don't make it a musical chair. It's a single-seater sofa. Offer it only to Swami. I feel casting our heart before anybody else would be like casting pearls before swine, as they say. Nobody is worth that. I'm not saying that we remain aloof from everyone, but we don't remain attached to anyone when we are fully attached to Swami. We will be able to, I feel each of our relationships, I will be able to be a better husband, a better father, a better son, whatever, a better friend, a better professional. Because I will be acting in every case without attachment. And I will be able to act without attachment because I am attached. My greatest attachment is Swami. Swami is worth attaching ourselves to. And what I thought I wanted to convey today was just this. This is an age when we can get attached so strongly. Before and after it won't be that strong. Passions are at the highest, enthusiasm, energy, everything is at the highest. Let's just direct that to Swami. That would be a good investment. That would be a good investment because it will come back. Anything directed to Swami comes back to us 1,000-fold. And the example that I love quoting is always of Draupadi. Draupadi was getting disrobed publicly in that Kaurava court and she calls out, oh Krishna, come and save me. And Krishna thinks, what did Draupadi do for me? We often expect like that. I'll do whatever I want. But when I call God, God should immediately respond. That's what. God, you should respond like that. But I don't have time for God. God, today I'm a little busy. Today I've got this class, tomorrow I've got that. Day after tomorrow I'll spend some time with you. We tell like that to God. Just imagine I'm getting involved in an accident, the truck is going to hit me in the next moment, and it's Sai Ram. I want Swami to come and immediately rescue me. Just imagine God tells us, today I'm a little busy, tomorrow I'll come. No need Swami, tomorrow I'll only come. I'll only be there with you, I think. If I have done that much good in life. Anyway, Draupadi is there and when she is calling out, Krishna is thinking, what did Draupadi do for me? And then Krishna remembers, yes, once when I was cutting sugar cane, I snicked my finger and it began to bleed. And all the other queens ran to find Dettol, Band-Aid, Savlon, whatever, existed in the Dwapara Yuga. Whatever antiseptic existed. But Draupadi just tore her sari. Tore her sari. A woman doesn't tear her sari. That it was a silk sari. Never. But she tore it. And she tied it to Krishna's fingers. And Krishna says, Draupadi gave me sari. I will give her sari. Draupadi gave him 2 inches. And Krishna gave Guinness Book of World Records. 25 kilometers. That guy is going on pulling it. It's not getting over. That's what happens. Any little thing we give to God comes back to us a millionfold. In fact, Swami had told the teacher, why do you think I make my students distribute prasadam? Because a time will come in their lives when they will need my help. And when they seek my help, I will think, what have they done for me? And I will remember, they distributed prasadam for me. And in return for that, I will give them. Look at the love of Swami. He is only making us do this systematic investment plan. Do little deposits, which he will multiply at 1,000,000% interest and give back. The thing is, even if he is ready to give 1,000,000% interest, if initial deposit is 0, 1,000,000% also will give us 0. So we need to start. We need to start cultivating, and that's why I'm feeling let's give it our all. I'll conclude with the 50th poem in Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali. I remember it vividly because that's the only poem I know. The 50th one. In that, he speaks about himself as a beggar waiting on the street, and he looks in the horizon and he sees something as resplendent as the sun, but not the sun. It is the emperor on his chariot, a chariot of gold, and he's coming towards him, and he decides, what should I ask him? What should I ask him? And he decides, let me ask this. He plans on asking so many things, but finally when that majestic chariot stops in front of him, he's so dumbstruck, he's not able to ask anything. And before he's able to gather his wits, the emperor asks him, can you give me something? And stretches out his hand. And he says, what kingly jest is this? What is this? Are you trying to mock me, make fun of me? You're coming on this, you see how I am, and you're stretching out your hand and asking what I will give. So he opens up his bag and he sees he has some corn. And he pulls out one grain of corn, because the rest he needs for his dinner that night. And he says, this is all that I can give you. He says, I'm happy with it. And the emperor takes it and goes away without giving anything in return. And this guy just nods his head and says, funny emperor man. Comes back home and then empties his bag. And when the corns fall out, he sees one grain of golden corn, gold corn. And then he says, oh, how I wish I had given the whole corn to the king. It's so symbolic, so beautiful. Because whatever we give, Swami comes back to us manifold. And when Swami is asking something from us, it's not that he's taking away, he has everything but still he wants, he's eyeing what I have. No. He's taking a normal piece of decomposing, rotting corn so that he can give us a golden corn. So when we have got that opportunity, instead of giving him one grain, let's borrow 2 corn cobs and give that to him. Tell this guy, don't worry, I'll give you back 10 corn. You just give this to me. Let me give Swami. You can give him. And what I'm trying to say is, let's offer our all to Swami. And this is the best time. This is the best time. As Swami would say, no use of offering it after you've done 60. Lord, I offer my body to you. With its 4 broken bones and 5 fatigued muscles. Don't give a 3rd and 4th hand car. So Swami says, when there are no teeth in your mouth, start chanting the Lord's name. It means as a baby, not after you've done 80. We've mistaken it. No teeth, wait, I've still got 5 more left. Let them go, then I'll think of it. Because that is the best investment we can make in life. That's the best relationship we can cultivate in life. That is the investment which makes all other investments fruitful. That is the relationship which makes all other relationships fruitful. I'm grateful to Swami for this opportunity to share his love, share in his love, and every time I speak about this, I feel very happy because my ears are closest to my mouth. So for a selfish reason I do it, whether you enjoy it or not. I'm grateful to Swami for the opportunity.